Hey guys, Andy here. I'm actually going to be doing a small tutorial on how to make dragon wings and dragon tail for kids. Um, my friend Nicole had asked what materials would be best for a 2-year-old, something that's not dangerous like wire. And because I've been working so much on armor, cosplay armor, I figured EVA foam would be a really good material for that, especially since when layered right, it can still keep its form, but it can still be flexible, which is really good for kids' costumes, so they can sit down and such. But it's also stable enough that it's not gonna fly around. So this is 2mm craft foam. I'm out of the 3mm stuff. I would recommend that more than this. The key to it all is layering. In the end, these pieces will be 6mm thick, which is good. I've already drawn out my little patterns, and that's just freehand whatever. I do not recommend. Well, you could have the kids do it like with drawing out and gluing. Some of the glue, as you can see, I have my hot glue gun there. I would recommend the parents doing the cutting out and the gluing, but it could be a really fun family activity and stuff. So, got my X-Acto knife, and I've got 2 layers of it, so I'm gonna actually be cutting out 2 layers just from one drawing. You will need, for the wings, 4 green pieces, and try to follow the lines exactly as possible. Start over here. There's also a reason why I didn't put the red in there too, is because the red is going to be the webbing for our wings, and also the spines for the tail. Now, if you'd noticed, I had some rectangles off to the sides that were still attached to the wings. That's going to be how we attach everything and make it wearable. I'm going to stick that on the end there. For the tail, you'll want 2 pieces of the green. I probably said this, for the wings, we want 4, which means I'm going to cut this out again. So we pop these out. Little tail. And a little wing. Let's see how well these cut out. This will need a little bit of trimming to get out, but that is fine with me because I can use that to my advantage. on tracing out the next piece. For the rectangles, they don't have to be exact. And normally, I would recommend you use something to protect your table. This table is going to get used for something, so I don't care about the top of it. Alright. And for this piece, which I don't need a second piece of, or a third piece of this one, so I'm just trying to cut this one out. Our second piece. So those look pretty even with each other. Sorry, my computer sometimes goes off. So that looks pretty even with each other. And we're going to sandwich the red in between. Come off completely. I'm going to use right here. To get that last piece. You'll notice I have quite a bit of space left on these. You can use the scraps for other things, embellishments and stuff like that. But I'm actually going to be using some of it as a stabilizer for when we attach it to the elastic. It's still not all the way cut through on this one, so. You can also use scissors for this. The stuff cuts really easily. You don't need a whole lot of pressure or even a particularly sharp thing. Woo. That's done. Just a little more. set those aside. Line these up and see how that looks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, where we had the stencil, the drawing on it, you can still see the lines on the outside. So that's going to be glued on the inside. We're not quite done with cutting everything out though. So I've got a piece of red here. Almost done cutting. So we're going to take that red and we're going to do just some basic little spines. Essentially follow the outline of it, but wherever you put the spines, don't cut between those and the outline of the tail. And don't cut out that rectangle either for this. This is the part that you don't want the rectangle on. So just slice there. Make sure it pops out. Be careful with your fingers. Right, almost done. There. The tails go over there. So, what's going to happen is you're going to glue it like that. You can actually trim it once it's all glued. If you don't like, if there's like any pieces like this, that's my phone, or like this, how it's uneven, you can just trim any of that. What I'm going to do there is fold that, fold that, tacky glue, and I'm not gonna put it on the green. Like that. I'm gonna take this paintbrush and even it out. That way it's nice and it's going to lay nice and flat on this. I'm only doing it on one side. Make sure everything's lined up. There's some parts where it's the red sticking out, and you can trim that after it's dry. But next is to do the other side. Now you're gonna be ruining this paintbrush, so pick an old one. This one's actually fairly new because I just found it in the thing, but I never use it, and I've got tons of paintbrushes, so glue the other side down, line it up, and pinch everything together. Now that's sitting like that, we need that like that. So I'm gonna find something to sit on this. This is tank cleaner, glass spray. Another thing of that here. That way you can have some weight on it. And we can cut out these pieces, the last two pieces we need. I'm gonna actually do this. Remember to tap your glue. You can also use Elmer's glue, do the same thing, spread it out like that, or spray adhesive. And remember to follow the directions on the spray adhesive if you do use it. The webbing's a little harder than the spines. Remember, you don't want to cut beyond where you want the webbing. And I think that's good. And it's going to look a little funky. It's really going to look a little funky. Oh, that didn't really cut through all the way. So I'm going to try to cut this out and then line it up the next piece. And you can do any kind of little embellishments you want on these. You can actually paint them too. Just get some Mod Podge and seal it first. Paint that on. A few layers of that will make it waterproof, so it doesn't eat the paint. There's that. It looks a little weird, but you'll see what it looks like in the end. Here they are. You're going to want to just check and see if it's the right size. Looks good. Look at that. Little wings. You can also do this in blacks and purples and do just regular bat wings. That would be cool. This one, you don't want to put the glue on the red. You'll want to just keep it to the green. Do this one, this side first, because the red has so much potential to be in the wrong spot. Careful, because it can be a little difficult. I'm absolutely getting this on my table. Whatever. There we go. Line up. I'd say line up with the spines more than line up with the rest of it. So that's the important part, is getting the spines lined up. It's gonna kind of go out on the sides a little bit, but that's still better than completely being in the wrong spot. And you can just find that last piece. Any excess can go on here. There's not a whole lot of excess, but okay. Set that to the side for just the moment. I'm going to use a bit less glue on this part. And you're gonna get glue on your fingers. But that always happens, so. What I do is do this. Again, line the spines up, not the back, because there's going to be some spots that you missed. Try to clean up those edges. Let it set like that. This should be about dry. See how it sits like that? It's nice. Stays together. I think I did nice on the edge. So what I'm going to do now, fold these back. We can do that. Fold those back. Take the red here, I have here. Try to hold them as close together as possible. They're gonna be a little big, probably. Cut out a rectangle about the same size as this. It's okay if it's a little smaller, it's okay if it's a little bigger. It's not really going to be seen, it's just for stability. That's going to be where we attach it to the belt we're going to make. So it's going to sit like that. And we're going to do basically the same thing on those. What you can also do is if you don't want to use hot glue, you can get, or even you could do hot glue with this, but you can actually do the belt inside this, so it's a little more hidden. I can do that right now. I'm going to say about this long. That's probably going to take a little more glue there in those spots. So it's going to sit like that. And I just put that so it's laying the wrong way. So that means it's going to have to go like that. Good thing about this is that it's very forgiving. I'm gonna trying to see if I have anything I can set on this while it's drying. Doesn't look like it, but got any clamps, those should be good. Use these again. So that's sitting like that. This one's a little better. There's the lid for that. This one's doing good. I'll do about the same one. Let's cut this one out first, though. With these, you could technically do larger pieces, or even just connect these two with, like, when you're cutting out, have some foam in the middle there. That way, it would just be sticking out like that, and it'd already have that base. You wouldn't have to do much. Just cut out a little harness. But since I didn't think of that, it should be about the right size. That's the right size. Good. You can always play around with, like, what kind of adhesives you use for these. can also embellish them with feathers and stuff if you want, like little angel wings or something like that. Remember, you can always trim later if it doesn't match up. It's going to be on this side. Plop that on. I got some glue on the front, but that should dry clear. Overall, these are gonna just keep drying, but I will take a picture of the finished product. You can also use hot glue to glue these pieces on, like that, or even to glue on the elastic. The hot glue might take better for the elastic. Might be better for the elastic. Like I wouldn't be able to tell because this is still drying and I don't want to disturb it too much. So, well, I will take pictures of the final product once it's all dry, and I'll see y'all later.